Federation Square applied for a permit to allow them to demolish the square's Yarra building to make way for the proposed Apple megastore. The application comes only a month after the expiry of Heritage Victoria's interim protection order, which meant that no construction work could begin in the square until the 21st of December 2018. Although Heritage Victoria is still assessing the square for heritage protection, Apple and Fed Square's management have rushed in at the first opportunity to destroy part of the square and replace it with a giant retail shop. The Chief Executive of the National Trust has said that any future development of the square should not be at the expense of the unnecessary destruction of the Yarra building. Yet the 124-page impact statement attached to the demolition application plays down the cultural significance of the Yarra building and argues that it is acceptable to demolish the building as its design does not match the design of the rest of the square. It is hard to understand how an enormous Apple store that emanates consumerism is in keeping with the design of Federation Square, a public square and a people's meeting place. And although the permit application suggests that Apple's presence in the square would create collaborations and synergies with existing tenants, it is difficult to see how a retail outlet that sells consumer electronics complements the cultural institutions that also reside in Fed Square, such as Acme and the National Gallery of Victoria. Federation Square is not a shopping mall. It is a place of social, civic and cultural importance. It is one of Melbourne's most iconic public places and it is much loved by all. Hundreds of thousands of us remain opposed to letting Apple into Fed Square, and I'm sure many of us are yet to make our submissions to Heritage Victoria's heritage assessment process. So my ask to the Minister is that he meets with Victorians concerned about an Apple store in Fed Square and ensures that the people are listened to about the proposed commodification of our public square.